Just wait for like somebody to get in here, or never thought I'd see today a Mets fan wearing Phillies gear.
Well, I got the Mets jersey, so I mean we're compromising. We're compromising.
Yeah, right. All right. Let's see here. Still waiting here. Notification hasn't been sent yet for some reason. Oh, there we go. All right, we got some people in here. So welcome back. It's been a while, everyone. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Phillies Hat Stove Media, and today we are joined by Mets Talk with Hayden. So this is our last live stream since I think it was a World Series, right? It's been quite a while. It has been a while. Yeah, before we get into this live stream, please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. So I want to get your thoughts on this lockout, and where do you see this going?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this has been, a complete utter. Yeah, I mean, this has been a complete utter disaster for MLB. Just the matter of the fact that that we went from Monday night with such the positivity, and I mean, I really do blame a mixture of everyone. I mean, obviously, I blame a percentage on the players' union. I blame a percentage on the media for kind of just boosting the morale up and spreading news, whether it's real or not, whatever. And then of course the owners, I feel, are at fault. We know the last couple hours they have been very relevant, whether it's the Guardians or the Tigers or the Rockies owners who have been vetoing a lot of the players' union and MLB resolutions, whether it's to raise the luxury tax threshold from 220 to 230, 240, so it goes up annually more than 3 years. But overall, it's been a complete disaster. I'm pretty sure all of you guys have heard it, but right now it's not looking good because you've had the 2020 season, and then that was a complete utter disaster. 2020 was atrocious. And then 2020, absolutely, like we all said, didn't feel like a regular season. It felt like a 60-game shenanigans.
Well, one thing I will say, though, is that I think part of it is because of the fact that there are no fans in the stands.
Absolutely, yeah. It just did not feel like a regular season. Mm-hmm. And like I said, anything under 163, 162 is not going to feel like a regular season. And I guarantee you we're going to have a 162. I think that's out of the window. Just now, They postponed 10 more spring training games, so I think they said the earliest it could start is like March 18th, which is like 10 days shy of opening day. So, I mean, how are they determining how many games get delayed for opening day? Is it by each day passes? That's one less game. Because if that's the case,
they're not even meeting. They're not even meeting. You had the deputy commissioner Hanlon, whatever his name is, meet with the MLBPA representative yesterday. I mean, a 90-minute meeting. Nothing, from what I understand, really got talked about, and I didn't really expect anything to really be, significant, progress being made in that meeting.
Yeah, obviously that was just a one-on-one, 2 against 2, and overall, who knows? Maybe that'll be better. Maybe having like a 1-on-1, a 2-on-2 will be better for these guys rather than having a whole-on round table with 50 guys at the table bringing in a ton of shenanigans. But overall, I think it's an embarrassment to the game, to the fans, to the players, to everything from the businesses. It's just a complete embarrassment. And I think as of right now, you and I, we're diehard fans. We do deep analysis, whether it's analytics, just an analysis on the players. We know our teams in and out from a GM perspective to an owner perspective, whether it's Mets or Phillies. And as of right now, baseball, like we saw in 1994 and 1995, I'm only 20 years old, so I wasn't alive then. Yeah, but I'm 18. Yep. It destroyed baseball following that. They
didn't recover until 06. I saw that the other day.
There was a strike, and it destroyed baseball. And it took a home run derby and players to take steroids to bring baseball back.
Right.
So I don't know 100%. What they're going to do ahead. It's just a complete disaster that has come down to this. The lockout happened December 2nd. That's when it went into effect. Yep. They did not show any sense of urgency until, February 10th, February 15th. They should have been showing a sense of urgency since December 2nd. On my channel,
Before then. The lockout shouldn't happen in the first place. They knew about this date since December of 2016. I mean, you know what I mean? And obviously, like, you're not going to negotiate in like 2017, but like, I mean, I understand they met a little bit in like 2021, you know, like during the season. I mean, how much really can you meet? Because of course the players out there playing for their teams, but you know, like, nothing really was getting done in October and November.
No, and I understand that, but I think how do I say it? I just, you know, we saw absolutely the last couple CBAs, whether it was 2017 or, you know, going back, the owners won, the players caved, and now we saw the solidarity with the players union and all the guys representing, whether it was Miller, Scherzer, whoever, they were all united. They were standing in solidarity together, and they were not going to. They want what they want. I mean, I don't know what made him had a change of heart. I don't know if it was the 2020 season. I don't know if now the game's evolved so much.
Oh, it's gotten bad. I remember, yeah. I mean, I remember back in 2020 when that was all going on, because I remember I have a friend of mine who said, like, watch out, man. When the CBA expires, you know, in 2021, like, I think you should be really worried about the start of 2022 season. I'm like, oh, I'm not worried about it. Well, look where we are right now.
Yeah, and I mean, we went from let the kids play, you know, the postseason motto, to lock the kids out. And listen, I get it.
Yeah, man fraud. Yeah, it's just
right. Right now, I think it's really the CBT is the big thing, because, you know, we saw they seemed really close on majority of issues.
They do,
and it's just
except for the bonus pool. The bonus pool is.
It's the CBT is what I'm worried about, because that is what determines if these teams like Cleveland, like Colorado, like surprisingly Detroit now, I didn't even think that category. Yeah, those teams, exactly. And I'm not worried about Tampa Bay. They manage, and they're not nitpicky. They're not nitpicky about it. But the luxury tax threshold is what I've been saying for the past, since December, will determine if the CBA gets done. The 12-season postseason teams, awesome. DH, cool. The draft.
Now they're talking about adding 14. Now the union is to you know, give a little more flexibility with the CBT.
Yeah, I mean, the draft compensation. It took them 2 days to freaking work on that after the back-to-back 8-hour meetings. I mean, that's just completely foolish.
It is. It is. I want to answer this, guys. I think that as a Mickey Mouse. I mean, that's just a Mickey Mouse playoff type thing. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it just. I mean, half of the team is making it. I mean, almost half of the team is making it. I just don't really feel. I just don't think that sits right with me, man. I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but overall, I know I was kind of ranting on. I think the CBT will really determine everything.
Because if they make up, like, you know, let's say, because this is part of negotiating. I mean, you know, the gap in the bonus pool is pretty significant, but if they can make a lot of progress in the CBT, then I think they're going to kind of fold a little bit on things like the bonus pool, et cetera. Yeah,
I mean, I can obviously see that. I just think as of right now, you know,
there's no sense of urgency right now. I mean, you know, they had that meeting. Of course, they officially rejected it on Tuesday, and like nothing's really been talked about since. Have you really heard much chatter? I mean, it's just like, come on, guys. I mean, each day that goes by, you know, it's looking less and less. You know, it just looks more and more, you know, bleak by the day.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's really not looking good.
Yeah, I agree.
Right now, it's not looking good for overall the baseball fan.
Right.
I mean, like I said, a lot of these casuals are going to lose interest in the game, because say, like, if Major League Baseball starts on May 16th, who do you think is going to follow the season as much? I mean, the season would have been almost a quarter way through. Not many people are going to want to follow it. If it's been delayed, they're going to lose interest. They're going to get mad. You and I may not necessarily, but the casuals outnumber the deep analysis guys like us. So, I mean, we're going to see stadiums that look like Tampa Bay, that look like Miami. And Miami isn't that bad from what I've seen, but we're going to see low packed stadiums.
Owners can blame themselves for that.
Yeah, just as of right now, I really blame a mixture of everyone. I think this easily could have been resolved if simply enough, listen, I get it, you know, keeping it from a baseball perspective and not, you know, political or business, you know, companies meeting with unions are hard. I understand that.
Right.
And I think baseball, who is a billionaire company, and them having a union, that's going to be quadruple hard. So, I mean,
Good point.
these guys should have been having these issues resolved since December 2nd, not February 10th. They should be meeting every day starting December 2nd from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., got this issue resolved. Listen, point is they could have been a month or two ahead of the ball game. Who knows? Would they have had a deal by now? Probably. I mean, I can't picture how they wouldn't if they're meeting, 9-10 hours a day every single day starting December 2nd. That'd be possible. I don't know what they're doing at the meetings unless
Lockout shouldn't have even happened, really, if you ask me.
Tic-tac-toe or something during the whole meeting.
Right.
But it's really not looking good for the game. And I mean, I don't know what to say because I was really expecting, with all the positivity, the high ambitions, the high morale off of Monday night, that there would have been a deal done. Yeah. And as soon as those guys left Roger Dean Stadium on Monday night, or Tuesday morning, I guess, at like 3 a.m., I said, there it goes. Because now these guys are going to go back to their hotels.
Scott Boras, Jeff, whatever, Lozano, all those guys are going to call them up and say, should we take this? No.
And that's what they did. And that's why I wanted them to stay there until – if they had to stay there for 48 hours, so be it. 1995, the lockout ended at 5:45 a.m.
Right.
If so be it,
right, yeah.
I don't care. Get them coffee and Mountain Dew and sugary foods at this rate.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that Tony Clark did make a good point. I want to get your thoughts on this. I understand we talk privately about this, but Tony Clark said, if we can go back to the field now and continue to have a discussion, we'll go back to the field now. But I almost feel like I want to get your thoughts on this. That's to put, and believe me, I'm definitely more on the player side. I think that's kind of a statement to put more blame on the owners. Don't you think? I mean, they would strike. They would probably strike if they did lift the lockout. So I think that's, and they know they're not going to lift the lockout. So I think them saying we'll go back to the field now, have a conversation about the CBA and continue to play. But I mean, the owner's going to be like, no, we don't want to talk. We don't want to talk, because, they're still getting their money off of the, old, collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, I really don't know at this rate. A part of me doesn't trust it. I think it's just foolishness. I wonder, let's say, yes, I get it. The owners locked them out. They were the ones that decided to lock out. They were the ones that decided to postpone spring training. They were the ones that decided to postpone opening day. They were the one that refused any sort of contact for bringing up a meeting within, 49 days of the lockout. I understand that. I agree with you 100% on that, Matthew.
Right.
They were the ones that did that. Did the players have some stuff involved? Absolutely. I think the owners did start to work towards the end, whether it was bringing in the draft compensation, whether it was bringing in the expanded playoffs, the DH. There were a couple other core economic stuff on the minor side, but still, they were able to work. They were able to move the bonus pool up a little bit. You got to work. And I feel the union, I don't know. I felt Tony Clark and them could have worked more. I mean, I've spoken with so many other people. Tony Clark, kind of a fool in my opinion. I mean, even last CBA, he was being hated on, saying that he's going to be fired. And honestly, after this, he's done. I cannot picture him representing the players' union. I don't even think the players realistically like him because, I mean, if the meetings are that heated from the players and Tony Clark isn't, I just don't know because, we saw what happened on Monday and Tony Clark was there. And then Tuesday, he had a change of mind. What, did you just go to sleep and for 5 hours and just have a change of thought?
Right.
That's what I don't get.
Apparently, yeah, he had it, because you got to keep in mind that the writers typically are controlled by the owners in a lot of ways. So Alex Wood made that point. It's a great point.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Personally, I think Tony Clark is done. But what was the main question you asked?
My question was about how he said, we'll go back to the field now, continue to negotiate. But honestly, I think that's a ploy to put more leverage on the, make the owners look bad. That's what I think.
Yeah, I don't know. A part of me thinks, yes, if they do end the lockout, maybe they'll start something. But let's say it's June, July, and they still don't have something. What are they going to do? See ya, we're done playing baseball. We're going to go strike.
Right.
Really think, I mean, how much time are they going to give? Having a lockout is something to work for.
It's the same thing happened in '94. Same thing.
Yeah. They had the lockout in what? August? Towards
August. Yeah, I think May, August, something like that.
So that's my biggest worry. Is sure the MLB owners can end the lockout, but are the players going to strike? I mean, coming now. Yeah. They're probably not going to strike now, but let's say come in July, August, and they don't have a deal. They going to strike?
100%. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. And that's where you kind of have to look at it both ways. I mean, of course, as I said, I am mostly on the player side, but you also have to take a look at, the owner side as well. I mean, you got to, no matter what both sides say, because of course the one side's going to make want to make the other side look bad. So you have to understand that. Didn't the Expos get screwed because of the 94 strike? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. I can tell you watched what's his name's video. What's that guy that has all those I don't want to say the word on here, but that guy that has like all the parody videos, Tree or something like that. Forget his name. Yeah, he's really funny. Yeah, you're muted, Hayden. I don't know what happened there.
No, yeah, I don't know that channel.
Yeah, but yeah, I also wanted to get your opinion. I heard, I forget who it was. I think it was the Giants color analysis say that he thinks that Rob Manfred should be replaced. And of course, his election is this year because he gets elected every 4 years. Do you think that there's a chance that he will no longer be commissioner? And of course, your elections usually, if you're the commissioner, fairly easy. But he's just done such a disastrous job. Do you see him possibly getting voted out?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Rob Manfred, I really feel he does get hated on a lot. And honestly, I don't think it was Charlie Elf. Honestly, I think he's just a figurehead. Right. Everyone hates the owner. Everyone hated Sealeg. Everyone hates the owners. I mean, regardless, I could be the owner. People will hate me. The owner is, it's like, the owner is just the guy.
You don't hate Steve Cohen, though, do you?
What?
You don't hate Steve Cohen, though, do you?
He's an owner, not a commissioner.
Yeah. I thought you just said owners.
Oh, I meant commissioner. My bad. Yeah. Well, owner of the.
Yeah,
I guess you could say. Yeah. He's kind of like the figurehead. It's more so the owners that have control, and the associates that are working in MLB headquarters and stuff. It's not necessarily Manfred. I just think he's a figurehead. I mean, maybe he'll get.
He's doing nothing there, but he's lying to us though. He keeps saying about how, this isn't going to happen, and then it happens. Like he's repeatedly let us down, and over and over and over again. I'm just tired of hearing what he has to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. Before the lockout, Manfred was actually getting better. I will say that. Whether it was helping subsidize housing and traveling and transportation for minor leaguers and foreign, minor leaguers, that really helped out. He was getting better before the lockout. And then the lockout made him fall apart. Right.
We got a question here. Thoughts on DH? I think we're both in agreement that it's a wonderful thing. I mean, this is something that's really going to, help our pitchers stay more healthy. And honestly, make things more fair. I mean, how in the world in the American League, pitchers don't have to hit, and here in the National League, they have to hit. So I just don't really think that was fair. And I think this makes the game more, even keeled. I think this is going to bring more attention to the game because there's going to be more offense. Offense is saving the game, not pitching. And for the Phillies, it's a great thing because they could put their worst defender in the team, Alec Boehm, in the designated hitter spot. So I think it's a wonderful thing. Hayden, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as a Mets fan, I think this obviously helps out the Mets, an extraordinarily amount. A year ago today, I probably wasn't for the DH. Mm-hmm. Until a lot of I've noticed, I'm into analytics, and I started to do a lot of deep diving and searching analytically on pitchers over the last couple of years, and so far in 2021. Well, in 2021, I should say, pitchers had a WRC plus of -22. Oof. That's not like
that's very bad. Yeah,
that's hard. If you want to be basic, a casual, I think their average was like .70 something.
Yeah,
horrible. So, like you said, a pitcher's job, in my opinion, is to pitch. Listen, I get it. It brings suspense, sure, the bunt. But I think by having a DH in the lineup, it really helps these managers a lot. And I'm sure you could say the same thing for Joe Girardi. And I mean, now the Mets have
he's a better American League manager, I'm telling you.
Showalter, but Rojas did constantly last year was Aaron Loop. I mean, you're familiar with Aaron Loop. Yep. He was having a phenomenal year last year. And this is the famous example I love to say.
Who we got back?
Luis Familia is on the mound for the Mets. They have the lead by 1. You have 2 outs and 2 runners on base for the opposing team. You need 1 out to get. Rojas takes Familia out, puts Loop in, 3 pitches, 3 strikes, he's out. Oh, But then the pitcher spot's coming on deck for the Mets. Sorry, Luke, we have to put someone else in. You're out of the ball game.
Yeah, here comes Dominic Smith. Yeah, right.
Like,
yep.
I mean, yeah, I'd be down for Smith on the bench.
Yeah.
Like, what do we like?
What? Yeah, right. Yeah.
I couldn't stand that, and I'm sure Girardi may have had that mistake. But I mean, now with Buck Showalter, I'm not worried about that. Regardless, it just helps the DH helps teams with their lineup so much more now. You don't have it's less of this bench shenanigans on what you're going to do with the bench. It'll help out the 26-man roster 100%, in my opinion. You don't have to have an established DH. I don't think you're going to see one with the Phillies. Of course, it's pretty rare to actually see an established DH. Unless you're a team like the Boston Red Sox when they had David Ortiz or that's an injured player, right?
Right, or like a Nelson Cruz of course I know he's been around, but yeah, I mean there's no more American League guys anymore because I know that you've been watching baseball for a while. Back in 2018, the Phillies had Carlos Santana, and that was not a good contract for the Phillies, but I thought of him more as an American League guy. A guy that benefited playing in the American League. And of course, when the Phillies signed him, he was, I believe coming off of winning a Gold Glove, but he really just seemed to be a better fit in the American League. And now you're going to see guys like Nelson Cruz, get some, options in the NL now. Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's the same rules now. And, I think this has been a long time coming. I mean, I think you'd agree with me on that. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about this for years, leading up to this. And I'm glad they finally did it.
100%. Yeah. Yep. I mean, I'm big on the DH. Like I said, it's going to help these guys out.
I wasn't before. I'll be honest. You were. I know you weren't either.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to help these guys out in terms of injury. Famous example, Adam Wainwright, 2014, I want to say. Correct me if I'm wrong. May have been 2013. He was running to first base on a light hit ground ball. Oh, no. His Achilles or something like that.
No, I'm looking it up right now.
He did something to his leg that was bad that put him out for the rest of the year. Stuff like that. I mean, Zach Gallen. I love pitching prospects that are called up to the MLB. Casey Mize, Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen is one of those guys who...
It was April 27, 2015.
Okay. Zach Gallen was benched for over a month because he was running to first base and he did something to his... I think he sprained it or pulled something bad.
Yeah, well, Charlie Morton in 2016, he was... I forget what he did, but it put him out the rest of the season. He hit into a double play. And I think either he tripped over first baseman's leg or something, but all I know he was out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the DH is really going to help out these NL teams. I mean, it'll prevent pitchers' injuries. It will expand players' careers. I mean, obviously, the DH could help a lot of guys. I mean, Nelson Cruz stay in the league, Albert Pujols stay in the league. It helps these guys.
Maybe you see a guy like Edwin Encarnacion because of course, he didn't play in 2021. Maybe you see him. There's another 15 teams that maybe would be willing to, take a chance on this guy now. Of course, he is at the end of his career, but maybe you see him, get another chance.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. Christian Corey, do you see MLB going back to Europe and still having the Field of Dreams game in the Little League World Series, even if Manfred gets replaced? Absolutely. I don't know about Europe, but I mean, I still see him doing all the other, cool activities because I think that Field of Dreams, especially the Field of Dreams, I think that was really popular. Really popular thing they did. Yeah. I think that's what baseball needs to do. I actually did give them a lot of credit for that. And Matt here, what jersey are you guys wearing? I am wearing a JT Muto jersey. Oh, I thought you had a Phillies jersey on. I didn't know that. Oh, okay. Kind of looked like the tint of your light kind of made it seem like it was red pinstripes, not blue.
Boy, Pete Alonso.
DH for the Mets and the Phillies. Well, for the Phils, if you guys have been watching my show, I mean, I definitely think that Alcon makes the most sense. I mean, he's the worst defender on the team, of course, he did kind of have a down offensive season in 2021, but I don't think you could really fix his defense, but I definitely think you could fix some of his offensive woes and inconsistencies. And I think he'd be a very good fit as DH. And also, I think you're going to see Kyle Schwarber get some time there. Not the best left fielder. As I said, I made a video about this probably 3 weeks ago now, about who I think should be the Phillies DH, and I also talked about Rhys Hoskins, not really the best defender over at first base. And this is the thing that's great about DH. I mean, let's say you're on September 14th, you're at Marlins Park, it's a series finale. JT Muto's been behind the plate for 5 straight days. Guess what? You don't have to sit him. You can just put him at DH for the day. It's a wonderful thing. Let's say Bryce Harper's back is sore on August 23rd against the Mets. Well, guess what? You DH him. He's been playing every day since the All-Star break. You DH him. You don't have to, that way he doesn't have to stand out in right field for 9 innings. It's a wonderful thing. It's going to make players healthier. You're going to see it. That's why I don't think it's the best idea to have one guy in that spot. I think you got to, kind of have a little rotation there. Not a set guy at DH, but I think the primary guy for the Phillies should be Alec Bohm. Hayden?
Yeah, I would probably agree in terms of the Phillies case. Obviously, I've looked at Alec Bohm's stats, and I'm not talking like OAA or DRS. I mean,
right. Yeah.
Where there's hardcore defensive stats. I thought they were fake for a minute, but they're real. And I remember the Mets had JD Davis last year at third base, and I thought he was bad defensively until I saw Alec Bohm. And I remember asking you, I said, does Alec Bohm always play like this, or is he just having a
Yes, he does. Yeah.
He's
not much better at first. Go ahead.
Alec Bohm could be a good fit for the Phillies. In terms of the Mets, they got plenty of options. Like I said, that's why it benefits them. Depending on what they do with Cano, you could put Cano there. Nice left clutch bat. Hit for some pop, hit for some power. I like that.
Especially his age. Yep, makes sense.
Yeah, maybe you do something like Cano against lefties, JD Davis against righties. I could like that. Alternate each day. That could be something to work for. Maybe Dominic Smith. I mean, he'll probably be on the bench this year. I like Pete Alonso at first. I don't picture Alonso going to the DH. I think him and Buck Showalter in this Mets front office likes Alonso at first, so that's been established. So really right now, I mean, like I said, I don't mind, if some guy needs a day off, but they don't want him playing the field, but, they want him to come up and hit 3 or 4 times. You could have a high average guy, McNeil, Nimmo, alternate every now and then. But in terms of the Mets solidified DH, it's Cano, Davis. Probably Cano and Davis would be my best two.
Yeah, I like that. Yep, makes sense. Alec Bohm for the Phillies. How about what that other guy? What do you call the Mets? The Mutts? Is that what he called them? Is that what it was? Oh my gosh! Please go away. Oh, thank you though. You just change your username, please. Thank you. If the Phillies signed Kyle Schwarber for designated hitter, how much money and years do you think you would give him? Oh my gosh. I'd probably give him no more than a 4-year deal. I'd probably maybe go for 3 years, 70 mil possibly. I think that's pretty much all you go because this guy doesn't hit for a very high average. He gets on base a lot. I will say he's not, as I talked about, not a good defender. And he does have some health problems in the past. So I feel like that's kind of an issue there too. So I don't really think you go more than 4 years. Maybe 75 tops. I don't know if I don't really think he's worth $25 million a year. I just don't. So that's just my opinion there. And the Mutts, yeah. So I wanted to just get your thoughts here, Hayden. Of course, we've been wrong on our predictions with the lockout so far, but what do you truly see happening? When you see this deal getting done, how do you see it playing out? What do you think the end result will be?
Yeah, as of right now, it's like to quote Robert Manfred, I like to be optimistic, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. Like I said, I don't know how they're going to cancel games. I don't know how they're going to go about that.
And they can't just do that with that. They have to, almost like it happened in 2020. And I don't mean to interrupt you here, but the thing that concerns me is not only do they have to agree to a CBA, right? They have to agree to the CBA. They haven't agreed to it. It's been ugly. And now to make things even more ugly, to add insult to injury, I was talking about this with you the other day in a Twitter DM, that even more on this, now they're going to have to agree to how they're going to play the season, how many games it's going to be, how they're going to be paid. Now this complicates things so much more. And that's why it was so important to get something done by February 28th or March 1st, whatever the deadline was. Of course, it was really supposed to be February 28th, but that's why it was so important to get a deal done then. And that's why things are just so much more complicated now, because now they have so much more to agree on now. Because look at 2020. I was just going back and watching one of my videos from 2020 and me talking about the negotiations. Exact same thing we're dealing with right now. It's the exact same thing. So I'll let you get back to what you're saying.
Yeah, as of right now, I'm hoping they can try and work something out. Like I said, I don't know how they're going to determine how games get canceled. Right. Because is it going to be each day goes by and that's one less game? I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how they're going to make up out of it. As of right now, 2 series are canceled. So
gotta be more than that.
6 or 7 games subtracted from 162. How are they going to keep determining it? we'll see. Maybe they can try and work something out where they could get a couple extra games into that if games are missed. I'm hoping they can try and get some deal by the 15th of this month. Maybe a week or two from now, they can try and get something to have a 150 opening day, maybe 145. Because now
I don't think it's going to be an odd number, but yeah, go ahead.
Now they have something to lose. You're losing not so much revenue from the owners and the players, but also with the TV providers, with a lot of these spring training sites.
That stuff doesn't change. That does, like, you know what I mean? Like, a new CBA won't change the TV deal.
Right. And I mean, listen, 2020 was, that everyone was kind of pardoned for that year.
Right.
They can control that. They can control this, though. So a lot of the, SNY.
Well, they could have controlled it, though, in June, though. I agree.
You guys have contracts with these guys. The spring training facilities have contracts with these guys. I'm sure the airline industry, stuff like that, they have contracts with these guys. It's going to start to hit them. I mean, we're going to. A lot of people canceled, whether it's MLB TV subscriptions. I canceled mine. Stuff like that is really going to start to hit them. And the players, as days goes by, both sides are going to cave because you have the owners losing millions and millions, and then you have the players losing hundreds and thousands of millions. So, day by day goes by, and Max Scherzer was losing hundreds of thousands.
Garrett Cole, man, I feel so sorry for him. Yeah,
I know, right? Like they're gonna, what a shame. They're gonna go poor.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. I call Luke Jackson Puke Jackson. And the lockout, MLB and MLBPA. Well, you should just be saying that to the MLB. Yeah, but I agree though.
Yeah, that's true. I can agree with you on that.
Yeah. No, he can't. No. Yeah. Jose Alvarado can't either. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, Balvarado. Oh yeah. Yeah, he just can't. Yeah, he's a disaster. I was hoping that they were going to trade him, because of course they didn't. They got him for a steal. I don't regret the Phillies trading for Jose Alvarado because at the time they got him for very cheap acquisition. They didn't really have to give up much for him, and he had a lot of potential. You saw what he did in 2018 with the Rays out of the bullpen. But I mean, he's just been awful. He has just been awful. As this guy said, he can't throw a strike to save his life. I mean, and I feel like this, he's just dangerous, with that fastball. He just, my goodness gracious, over 100 miles an hour, throwing up at people's heads. My goodness gracious, 101 mile an hour sinker. They can't get a swing and miss. Yeah, because he just, bounces it to the plate. Who's going to swing at that? Yeah, I mean, he's trying to generate a ground ball. I don't blame him. But he just doesn't have control over it. I think his stuff is great. I've always said that. I like his stuff. But he just can't control it. Is this person related to you, Hayden?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Hey, what's up? Favorite ballpark? I mean, I'll be biased. Citizens Bank Park. I mean, this is beautiful. I also went to Nats Park. That was very, very nice as well. I've been to Great American Ballpark. I've been to PNC Park for a tour, but not for a game. That's probably one of the most beautiful ballparks in baseball. But CBP is just, of course, it's going to feel like home, right? I mean, that's my favorite team stadium, home ballpark. But CBP just hits different.
I would probably say I like Camden Yards. Camden Yards is nice. PNC is nice.
All right.
Maybe Classic Fenway. I like those three.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been to Fenway too. I forgot to mention that. I remember the play when nobody was covering second and a run scored. He threw. Oh yeah. That was in April of last year. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was the most boneheaded decision. That was, of course, at the very beginning of the season. Yeah, I think it was our first road series of the year. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I remember that. That was so frustrating. A lot of painful nights in 2021. Good evening. Evening to you. Oracle Park is the best one. Yeah, I've been to California. I went there in fall of 2014. That was almost 8 years ago. Hard to believe. But I'd never went to any of the ballparks. I never went to Petco. I never went to Dodger Stadium. Angel Stadium. At that time it was called AT&T Park, which is now Oracle Park. But just seeing it on TV, it's a beautiful, beautiful ballpark with the bay. And it's something that's interesting about that ballpark is it's pretty much impossible. I know you probably noticed too, Hayden, for a right-handed hitter to go opposite field there. Because it's just so. I don't know if it's the wind. Of course, it's not a hitter's ballpark at all. But you think it's really not that far. But man, yes, any right-handed hitter, man, it's hard to go the other way there when you get it a little wall. So now the comments have slowed down a little bit. I just wanted to get your opinion on. I know we were talking about it a little bit before, but how surprised would you be if you saw the season start in mid-June? It was like 100-game season. Do you see another like 60-game season again?
I don't see a 60-game season. No. They're gonna have to get something done by then. The latest I see it starting is May 1st.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Favorite American League team? Oh man, maybe you would say the Oakland A's because they used to be in Philly, but I don't know. They don't really impress me too much. I just feel like they're just. I don't really like their stadium too well. I have to think about that one. Hayden, you can go.
Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, I like the Rays. I mean, honestly, I just love the Phillies so much. I don't really like any other team. But I mean, I guess maybe I go with the Oakland A's. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if I wasn't a Mets fan, I'd probably be a Rays fan.
Yeah,
I mean, the fact that I live in Florida, I like analytics, stats. I'm very infatuated with that type of stuff, and I'm learning. Rays are literally up an alley with that, and they just have an interesting franchise, interesting ball club. I respect that. Got some good prospects. Wander Franco, Randy Arozarena.
Yeah.
Interesting team boiling down there. So
yeah, 100%. Went to Petco Park in 2018 and saw Fernando Tatis Jr.'s first homer. Yep. That was back in the day when they had those cool uniforms. I'm not a big fan of the uniforms they wear today. I think that's those brown uniforms. I think they got those in 2020. Minus the White Sox. Yeah, I actually do like the White Sox logos. Jerseys, I mean. I also like their logo too. But of course, it's Chicago, big market. That's a
good question. What's your favorite jerseys? Because I mean, I'm a big jersey guy, big hat guy. What's your favorite jersey and hat?
Like in baseball?
Yeah.
Oh man. You know what I really like, and I think maybe it's just because I'm such a Harper fan. They don't really wear them much anymore, but I love the Nationals alternate road uniforms, the red ones, and it's like the Walgreens W, and then they wear the navy hat with the red brim. I don't know why, and the gray pants. I just think that looks so nice, and I love it when now we wear our reds on the road too. They play. Occasionally they wear it on the road, but usually they wear it with the maroon, the navy blue jersey that they wore in the World Series a lot. But I just love that jersey. I just love that whole thing there.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite jersey. Call me crazy.
I do like the Orioles. Some of this comment, I like the black and orange. I think that's pretty hot.
Call me crazy, but I like the Marlins jerseys.
Yeah, I do. I like that teal. Yeah.
Something I like about it. I like the Marlins jerseys. I like the H jerseys a little bit. I
like the green and yellow. Yeah.
That's black jerseys. They're nice.
Yeah. What's your favorite Phillies jersey?
The cream color.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, this is mine. This is my favorite. Orioles. We'd love to see Wrigley. Yeah, I've never been to Chicago. Yeah, I mean, someday I'll go there. I think Toronto has a great ballpark. Yeah, it's kind of unusual to have the hotel in center field, and that's Rogers. Yeah, some sketchy stuff's going on there. I'm sure you know that. I really believe the season starts on May 1st. Yeah, I mean that's what Hayden said. I mean, latest May 1st. I don't know. I mean, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if it was later than that. I really hope I'm wrong, but honestly, Hayden makes a good point. They don't want another season of all this this mayhem. And honestly, the thing is that they let it get this far. I never thought it ever got this far. So I don't know anymore. I really just don't know. Do you hate hearing depressed Tom McCarthy? I like Tom McCarthy. I think he does a pretty good job. I'm not gonna lie. I do think the little is kind of annoying sometimes when he just laughs about stuff that's not even funny. But I do like him. I think he's a really good guy, and I think he works hard. I think he's respected. by the the other broadcasters. I think he's respected by the other people in the business, and he seems to have a pretty good reputation. How many ballparks have you been to? I guess we'll both go on this. Obviously, I've been to CBP, Nationals Park, Fenway Park, PNC for a tour, not a game. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. And I think that's pretty much it. And I've also been outside Tropicana Field. Hayden?
I've been to Shea Stadium, the old Mets Stadium in 2008 for my first game ever. Obviously, Citi Field, the current stadium.
That was the final year of Shea Stadium, 08, I think, right?
08 was the last year, correct. Yeah. Was the inaugural year. I did go to
Because I just thought it. So the Yankees and Mets both got new stadiums the same year. Interesting.
Yeah.
Citi Field and Yankee Stadium.
Project for baseball, but I've been to Citi Field, Yankee Stadium. I've been to Fenway for a tour. I've been to Camden Yards.
Yeah, I want to go to Camden Yards.
And I've been to the Trop.
Nice.
Hopefully going to more.
Yeah, right. I like the old 1980s road Mets jerseys.
The one
in the background, Hayden.
Right there where my finger is.
Yeah.
Actually won that in a contest, believe it or not.
Oh, nice. Hayden, love the Mets. It's a shame all your team's biggest players always get injured.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think last year was the big thing for that. Obviously, DeGrom. DeGrom, I think, was obviously the big injury last year. 80% of the Mets team got injured last year. It was like the Yankees 2020, pretty much.
Right.
A lot of their guys got injured. I mean, Alonso was out for
and they seemed to be playing better when the injuries were going on. That was the weirdest thing.
It only lasted so long, their bench mob and their AAA squad. But hey, kudos to them. I mean, I really shout out the Mets front office for doing that. But I mean, realistically, the Mets team looks good ahead. I mean, obviously, listen, I mean, we saw 2019 how some things, went down. It's pretty good. And then, I mean, going ahead, we'll have to see. They brought in some new guys to help out that old renaissance last couple years of that Wilpon, Brody Van Wagenen squad. So we'll see. But, I mean, as of right now, I mean, I think DeGrom was kind of like the big guy, and he was the domino that fell, and that affected everyone else in the rotation because their innings pitched went up. I mean, DeGrom is Hall of Fame material right now.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, the injury was definitely a little bit of a bump. I mean, Conforto was injured, and that affected some of his, mobility on the field and his performance. Alonso was out for like 2-3 weeks, but I mean, the only guys that were really dominant last year that were able to stay in the field for 80% of the season was Alonso.
Right. You're right about that. Yeah, and I'm just talking about DeGrom. I mean, you really think about it, in maybe mid to late May, he was on track. Like the numbers that guy was putting up, like something that hasn't been touched in like almost 100. I mean, it's just amazing what that guy was doing. Like history. It's literally when he it was an automatic win whenever he started. Like every 5 days you got almost a guaranteed win. If the Mets even just scored maybe just 1 or 2 runs.
Yeah.
He's just that good. I respect him. I really, really respect him. I'm talking about when they get eliminated or lose to trash teams. He just sounds depressed. Yeah, well, he's got a lot of sad games to recap, that's for sure. Or announce. First batter of Citi Field was a home run. LMAO.
It was. I think it was actually the first or second pitch, believe it or not. But hey, David Wright hit a very clutch homer. They still lost the game after that, but David Wright hit a nice clutch homer. And that was even when they had the wall back. That was when because now they have
when they do that 2015. They or
2012, 2013.
Because I remember when Murphy, I think in 2015, he hit a home run. He said he's the first guy to take advantage of the short or something like that. Just something like that, like the shorter wall.
13, yeah, but it was
some dimension changed though in 2015. You can't met any more than that.
You're not wrong.
You're really giving it to him, Sergeant Gibby. Keep doing it. We had no Acuna. We figured it out. Yes, you did. I mean, I honestly, I never really counted the Braves out because everything the Mets. I'm like, I didn't think the Braves were going to win the World Series, but I said, like, I think they are the best team in the division. And, like, I knew that they were better than what they were playing. You know what I mean? Like, I knew eventually they're going to figure it out. As I said, I did not think they were going to win the World Series, but it just felt right that they won the division. Of course, obviously I was rooting for the Phillies. We went really, really hard. But, I mean, honestly, Hunter Brody said that when he was on my show last year, and even an extra point, it almost just felt right to have the Braves win the division.
Yeah, I mean, Braves had a phenomenal, tip of the cap to their front office that they were able to figure that out. I mean, Acuna went down. Ozuna had a leave of absence. And what did they do? They called Chicago. They got Jock Peterson. They called Cleveland and got Jorge Soler, I believe. The point is they made
Kansas City.
Point is they made the moves to fill in those guys.
Who did they get from Cleveland, though? They got somebody from Cleveland. Who was that?
Eddie Rosario.
Yes, yeah.
Point is, yes, are those guys ever going to be Acuna? Yeah. But they did the famous Moneyball 2000 thing.
Right.
2002.
Right.
They got 3 guys that could put up solid, adequate numbers. And it really, really helped out this Braves team. Obviously, hopefully ahead they can figure out some pitching. And I mean, I don't believe Acuna will be starting the season on time.
No.
I think he's expected May or June.
It was mid-July, I think. It was maybe like mid to late July. It was in Miami, I think, too, when he did that.
All right.
Yep. Better than Bob Gibson's numbers.
Yeah, Alonso. DeGrom, I know they were comparing him to Bob Gibson, and his numbers were like here, and Bob Gibson was like right there. Crazy.
Yep. I mean, that's history, man.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, as much as I can't stand the Mets, like, I don't wish injuries on anybody. Like, I was legitimately, like, kind of disappointed to see DeGrom to go down that injury because, like we're witnessing history. You know what I mean? Like, it's disappointing. It's not good for the sport. Like, at that point, like, let's say an Acuna goes down or Juan Soto goes down or like DeGrom, like, Trout was out pretty much the whole 2021. Like, it's not good for the game to have these stars not play. It's really not. Like, we need these guys on the field. And I think the DH is also going to help that. Oh, well, the Mets can't score with DeGrom. No, they can't. No. I remember in 2018, he actually had a losing record. And, like, to finish out the year, right? I think he did, right? Obviously, it doesn't matter, but.
No, I don't think he had a losing record. I mean, he won.
I'm sure he did.
That would have been hysterical, winning Cy Young and have a losing record.
I think he did, or at least he came close to it.
Nah, he had a winning record.
What was it?
10-9.
Yeah, see, but he was very close to not having one.
His first Cy Young.
Of course, it wasn't his fault, but
Nah, but I mean,
close,
he won 2 Cy Young since.
Yeah. He should have won in 2020, but the Phillies ended that. Because remember, he had that really bad outing, and his ERA was because of course the 60-game season.
For Knowles, it wasn't the Phillies. I'm pretty sure it was the Nationals.
I think it was like stuff because like his ERA was super low, but he like lit him up. And I'm pretty sure that cost him from, because he couldn't really recover.
Thought that was Washington, but maybe it was.
No, it was us. I remember. Yeah, we traded Pablo for Andy. Yeah, and then the Indian the then Indians cut Pablo as soon as he got there. Juan Soto going down there goes the Nats offense 100 losses. They had over 100 losses 2021. I think right. Pretty sure. Who were they like?
They didn't have a record.
They didn't. No, yeah, they didn't. I think they came really close though. I think they had like 98 or something. You guys getting swept by the running backs. Yeah, it did. I know, and also losing 2-3 to Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. I forget what else we did. We like split a series with the Rockies. We did all this like just stuff that like we shouldn't have done, and like, oh my goodness gracious, so we just would have just like our bullpen was just not really much better than 2020. It really wasn't. Everyone kept saying, "Oh, it's better than 2020." Technically it was, but 2020 was the second worst. Bullpen in game's history. And like, so like to say it's better in 2020 is a relevant statement, it really doesn't tell us that much. 67-95. Yeah, you're right, man. I think they did avoid 100 losses. Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah. But who do you see winning the division this year, Hayden? I mean, of course the Braves, I mean, they're probably not going to get Freddie Freeman back. And I mean, the Mets, I mean, they've definitely loaded up and they're, not done. So who do you see taking this division?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's really looking interesting. You know, as of right now, I think it's going to be a battle. I mean, this is a really close division. You have like a 2 to 3 way team that could really compete. I think the Marlins are definitely around a 500 ball club. They have talent. It's not fully there, but they have a lot of young squad. They have a lot of young talent that could really explode at any given point. So hey, don't the Marlins aren't going to win the division, but I think they could be a 500 or so team. Nationals are unfortunately rebuilding, so we'll see. You know, right now, I really think it's down to the Braves or Mets. I mean, are the Mets going to Mets up somehow? I mean, I think it's really down to the Braves or the Mets.
Right. Yep. So I'm just going to kind of wrap up the stream here. As we take a look at another comment here. It will load. Apologize about this. Mets or Braves winning if Freeman. Let's display this. Mets or Braves winning if Freeman comes back. I give it to the Braves. Yeah, I mean, even with Acuna not ready, I mean, Freeman alone will really propel the Braves, no question. But I mean, the Braves have some outfield holes to fill. So a lot of the guys that really helped them win the World Series are out in the free agent market. Of course, they can't do anything right now, but they definitely need to make some moves. I hope the Mets get Freeman. Oh yeah, they're going to trade Alonso now and just go and sign Freddie Freeman.
No, I mean, they would probably put Freeman at DH.
Yeah, but I think he's too good a first baseman to put him at DH though.
Then they'll put Alonso at DH. They're not.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
But I mean, I would be down to it. Realistically, I don't
Freeman see that happening. I'd be very surprised to see that.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, in some miracle he goes to the Mets. They probably put him at first, or Alonso at DH, or kind of do that like righty lefty. He faces lefties, Alonso faces righties, and they alternate at first. Right. But I think he'll probably stay in Atlanta. Call me crazy.
I think he goes to the Yankees. But that is it for tonight's stream. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Hayden, I'd like to thank you as well. So we need to definitely do this more often. So guys, thank you so much for watching this live stream. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media link, description section at Phillies Untitled Media, Instagram. Check out our Instagram. Call or text 267-225-3292. Email me, PhilliesUntitledMedia@gmail.com. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Luke, and I'll talk to you later. I was joined by Hayden. We'll see you guys.
Good stream, man. Good stream. Hello?
Yeah.